Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Floor Plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about creating decks, and specifically I want to talk about using faces to create floors or decks. So last couple days I've been working on this here house model, if you can call it a house. Looks more like a hotel almost, but one thing I wanted to do on this front porch area, and actually in this whole wraparound porch or deck, is I wanted to put a wood deck instead of doing a concrete deck as shown. So initially I had this concrete deck, and I think it looks fine, but just wanted to have another option and have kind of both of those as an option, a design option, and have those be shown. So let's go ahead and unhide all here. And I think I did unhide it. So floors. Let's turn on the floors. So one thing I wanted to point out, and this is kind of, well, it's related to the floor plugin, but it's also related to all of the plugins actually. So typically when you create these different assemblies, like for instance, these are just regular floors, but of course they're decks. You'll notice that up here under the layer or tag, it will be layer 0 or the default layer. So what you can do actually is you can create your own layers in addition to the system layers being utilized by the plugins. And as you can see here in this model, I've created a number of different ones for different levels. So like floor 01, floor 02, 03. And I'm prefixing by numbers, so it nicely puts them at the beginning of my list of my layers here, or tags, so that it's easier to navigate through them. But what you can do then is you can put these assemblies, you don't have to leave it on the default layer. So you can drop it onto these user-defined layers, and then you can easily toggle on and off entire floors or levels at the same time. And it still, of course, respects all of the layers that are being used, the system layers being used by the plugins. So for instance, if I want to get in here and actually just toggle off the deck boards, let's see here, where was I? Floor framing. Yeah. So see, I can toggle off just my deck boards, right? So it's still, like I said, it doesn't mess with the layering system or the tag system within the plugin itself, but it gives you that flexibility of toggling off. You can set up different ways of organizing things. So for instance, like I have all the roof assemblies basically put on this here very top layer, and so I can turn all those off or leave them on. In fact, we're going to turn them off here while we work on this particular floor here. Okay, so let's jump over here to this back deck. I've gone ahead, I've already created these faces, and I created these two front porch pieces, but I'm going to go ahead and let's see if we can go ahead and do that one, and then this other one right here. And in fact, I'm going to toggle off my foundation slab right now, because that's going to probably get in my way here. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Okay, so these here are kind of my layout faces I created. Just drew a face, then grouped it, so it's just conveniently I can put it where I want it. And after I'm done, I'll probably go ahead and assign this over to my outlines layer, and so then I can toggle that off and just have that as kind of a reference layer. Okay, so first of all, go ahead, create a face. Just make sure it's a closed polygon, which of course defines a face, and then go ahead and click the floor tool. And I've gone ahead and pretty much set up everything. Everything's like pressure treated lumber. Rim board is regular 1.5, lumber pressure treated, and then the deck boards themselves are also pressure treated 7.5 or 7.25, which is a 2x8. So the other thing I wanted to point out as well is, normally you're up here in the right hand corner, you've got, you're basically drawing, as you mouse over, you'll see it says polyline mode. So we want to switch to face mode. So there is a hotkey for that, but see, I could never remember the hotkeys because it seems like there's too many hotkeys and I can never keep track of them all. So what I did is I actually just made this clickable. So if you click that, you'll notice it toggles, and you can toggle it back. Now it's in face mode, right? So now when you mouse over this face, there you go. And it will show you, of course, a little preview which way the joists are going to run. Now I want my deck boards to run this way, and I want my joist to run that way. So it is oriented the right way, but I'm just going to show you what happens. We click this little toggle switch here, and now notice that the joists are running north and south, I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch that back. Now, when I click this face, it's going to go ahead and try to create that deck. Now, granted, my model is really big and heavy right now. I do need to clean it out a little bit and purge it, but it's going to be slow. So let's go ahead and let's update this, just make sure I've got everything I want, and I'm just going to go ahead and click it. And it's going to take a little while because my model and my computer, actually this is my older computer running 2017, so it's my Windows 7 machine, so it is running a little slow. So it'll take probably a good 30 seconds or so. I'm hoping it won't take that long, but we'll see. And by the way, there are a lot of boards. So, when you're trimming these boards, that's actually what it's doing. And you'll notice here with these 45-degree cuts, all those boards are trimmed. And it takes a while to trim all those because it's actually doing a Boolean operation. Okay, so there's our deck. All right, zoom in here. We'll get a little better look at it. All right, so that's our deck, and that was created first. Like I said, we created a reference face. So here's another reference face. I'm just going to momentarily hide this so we can get this out of the way, and then I'll also just hide this as well so you can see what this face is that I've created. So now this time I want my boards to go, I can't really show it with the mouse because I don't think the mouse is showing. I want my boards in line with this beam up here, and I want the joists perpendicular to that beam. So we'll go ahead and create another deck. And then if we mouse over it, we got to go back in face mode. And by the way, you can set the default behavior in the global settings. So you can set it to face mode or polyline mode, right? Okay, so this right now, our joists are going to be running parallel. We want them actually the other way. So now it's going the right way, right? So let's just go ahead and let that thing do its thing. Let it draw our deck for us. And as far as the supports, everything on the deck, I'm not entirely worried about that right now. I mean, I'll dig into the weeds on that later, but yeah, it's just kind of more so I'm just conceptually modeling this. I mean, it is fairly accurate, of course, but okay, so let's go ahead and unhide all, just so we can see all those decks now. And I'm just going to turn off that deck framing again for 1 second, just so we can see the joists that are underneath. I think they're framed 16 inches on center. Where do we go here? Framing. I can never say, I've got so many layers, it's hard to keep track of them all. Yeah, so there we go. We've got that framed separately as two different decks. And yeah, works fairly well. I mean, granted, we will probably need to chop out pieces here and there. There's a number of ways we can do that. I'm actually working on the opening tool right now, which will be able to do that. You can also use the subtraction methods, or you could also actually just when you draw your face, you could draw the little cutouts for that, and it will create the rim joist around it. So just like I did here, actually, for this this stairwell that's coming down through right here. So yeah, seems like there's always more than one way to attack things with these plugins. But anyways, just want to show you guys basically how to use the face to create a deck or floor with. I think it's really more convenient than tracing around a polyline. Kind of lets you set things up first and then go ahead and generate your floor deck. So I think it's actually an easier method to go about things, but you got both options. And again, I just want to show you real quick here in the global settings. If we go under floors, so you can see right at the very top here, we've got the draw mode, and you can set that to either polyline or face. Eventually I might add rectangle, but right now it's disabled. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for your support. And if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please feel free to email me or even give me a call. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.